Hey everyone, it's Robin from That's My Dog, and this is Bandit. This is him when he came in for training. This is just before he was going to start. You can see he's got some issues when he sees other dogs. He has a head halter on right now. That's what his owner was using to try to have some control of him, and you can see that even I'm struggling here. But I wanted you to get an idea of how reactive he was in the beginning. So what I did is I switched out that head halter. I got a remote collar on him, and I put him just on a regular leash for a while. But this was his beginning first day, so we're doing our e-collar conditioning as I always recommend. And very low key, very quiet. I don't talk to the dog much. I just let the collar communicate. This is the very beginning, and I'm just going to begin to teach him that when he feels stimulation, he needs to move toward me. The whole goal of this is to teach the dog to pay attention to me rather than paying attention to all of his surrounding, which ultimately we're going to start to use that when we get him around dogs as well. So I want him paying attention to me. This is a leadership exercise. A little bit later, this is about 7-8 minutes into our first session. Same thing, all I'm doing is moving and having the dog move with me. I make a lot of turns. I'm tapping the button on those turns to encourage him to stay with me. I want to point out how low the collar actually was. I'm going to show you here level 12. This is on a collar that goes from 0 to 127. So when people think, you know, it's got to be a shock and it's got to be painful and all that other stuff, this is so low that I've never had any human being who could actually feel that. But Bandit could. Bandit was sensitive to it. It worked very well for maintaining his attention. And again, that's really the goal in the beginning. Limited distractions, very little going on, just teaching him to pay attention when he felt stim, to stay with me. And then as we progress, we're going to start to use that in the more trigger scenarios. Again, this is also the first day. This is another session a little bit later. I went back into that hallway, that entry where he had some initial problems. The wall, you can't see it very well, but the wall is just to the left of me, and of course there's dogs on the other side. And so all I'm doing is insisting that he walk with me and stop with me. And again, this is about leadership. It's about him paying attention to what I need him to do. I'm not talking to him very much, but I am always helping him. I'm either using the leash or I'm modeling with my hand and just teaching him to move with me, sit when I stop, pay attention to me. Back and forth, a little bit of notice there. He sees the other, or hears the other dogs. And again, my goal is not to react to that. I'm just teaching him it doesn't matter really what's going on out there. He needs to pay attention to me. That's my only expectation. He starts to react, I keep moving. He needs to follow me. That's what I'm trying to teach him. And again, this is day one. This is the very beginning. We are separate from dogs. He can't see dogs. And here we are. We're just a little bit farther in this session. I'm going to start to expect a bit more of him. I start to make some left-hand turns, so I'm moving into him a bit more. And again, it's leadership. If you see what I'm doing there with my left knee, I'm kind of pushing into him. This is just emphasizing to him, you're not the leader, you're not making the decisions I am. We're moving to the left, I'm moving into him. There I go again, making him move out of the way. Just very quietly trying to emphasize some leadership to this dog because he's too used to making his own decisions. Now this is later, day one. This is later in the afternoon. I'm going to start with visually being able to see some dogs. So I've got a couple of my dogs are over on the fence line. You can't see them right now. They're kind of behind the car, but I'll call them over here. They're going to come up from behind. You're going to see him kind of look around. Hackles go up a little bit. And my whole job here is just to keep him moving. Again, the whole emphasis is leadership. When we're walking, you pay attention to your handler. You don't get all revved up just because there's all dogs there. So we're going to keep moving, keep him going, keep him paying attention. And that whole time where you see me moving away, I am tapping the collar. One of the things I really like about it is how non-confrontational it is. It's just using sensation to communicate with him, follow me. When the sensation goes away, that means he's doing the right thing. When he feels the sensation, then he's distracted. I'm using it to get his attention back. I think of it kind of like a GPS unit. Tap means you're off route. No taps means you're on route. And it's very easy for him to start to figure this out, that he needs to follow me right now. So here we are, day 2. This is another exercise where he can visually see the dogs. We got daycare going on this day, so there's a lot more dogs. He hasn't seen any of these guys yet. Same thing, I'm going to move around a little bit. I move him up to the fence line. I am starting to expect a sit at this point, which again, the idea with the sit is you need to stay sitting. You don't charge forward, that kind of thing. And I don't know if you can see here, but he's much calmer as we've continued to practice this. He's not sucking the mouth up anymore. He's open mouth. I'll give you a little bit of close-up here so you can see a little bit better. You can see an expression of a little bit of interest, but we've got no more forward lunging. And it helps a great deal. Obviously, we're doing this with dogs that are stable. These other dogs have been in our daycare. They're giving off nice signals. It helps him tremendously to learn how to behave the right way. So what I did is we practiced this through the week. We kept getting closer and closer. He could see them. Eventually, we let him go up. We let him sniff, that kind of thing. When I got to this point where I felt he was pretty calm, we started to integrate into the pack. We do that off leash. You can see this is actually day 4. He is actually playing. I didn't videotape the first session. I apologize for that, but obviously I'm more concerned about watching the dog than I am on handling a videotape. He was a little bit more apprehensive, had the hackles up the first session, but did not go after any of the dogs. Again, the stability of the pack helps tremendously, and again, this is day 4. He's playing and socializing pretty darn well with the dogs. My whole point in videotaping this and showing you a little bit is showing you how a collar can kind of expedite the process if it's done correctly. It's not magic. I'm not trying to convince anybody it is, but the combination of using the collar, knowing what you're doing to keep the dog below threshold, teaching him appropriate response, which is the alternative behavior of sitting, walking with me, paying attention to me, and then integration into a stable pack. We worked with Bandit for 2 weeks, and then we brought his owner back into the picture. The next still photographs are 2 weeks later. This was at an outing, brand new place, few new dogs, and he has continued to do very well. So that's it. I just want you guys to know that there's hope. If you're struggling with significant problems, don't give up yet. Find a trainer who can help you. I'm at thatsmydog.com. I also blog at thetruthaboutshockcollars.com. If you don't have somebody that can help you, maybe look us up and I'll see if I can find somebody in your area. And all for now.